Hey everybody, it's Brian, and this is Laura.
Hi.
And we're the Horror Tours, and we're coming at you with our review of a haunt that we've been going to for several years now, called Insanity Haunted House. For the past couple of years, it's been in Peru, Illinois, and it started out in St. Charles,
yes.
Illinois. Now, for those of you who have been around doing hauntings for a long time and visiting haunted houses, you'll recognize this type of haunt. It's your classic mall haunt, right? It's one of those haunts that takes over an empty store, like in a strip mall and in a mall. This one happens to actually be in an enclosed mall. But I remember when I was young, in my high school days and my grammar school days, you'd go to the strip mall and you'd have that empty building, and then this mall, it would be occupied by a haunt. Well, this is what Insanity is. Insanity started out in the mall in St. Charles, and now it's in the Peru Mall in Peru, Illinois. And I have to confess, when we first went to see Insanity, the very first time, we were like, it's not really that good. You know, it was just okay.
Right.
But we're very happy to say that over the years, Insanity has gotten better and better over the years.
Yes,
It definitely has.
It's a haunt that's growing. It's just, yes.
You can definitely tell the difference. I think it's been going now 5 years. I could be a little bit off with that, but I think it's 5. And there's a huge difference between the first year and this year.
Right.
And we missed it last year when it moved to Peru. We couldn't quite get out to Peru, but we made a point of going this year to see just how good it is.
Yes.
And I have to admit, I really, really enjoyed Insanity this time around.
I did as well, yes.
One of the things to note about Insanity, at least from my point of view, when we came out of the haunt, I checked to see how long we had been in there, and it was only 10 minutes. And my reaction was, wow, that was only 10 minutes. It seemed a lot longer. Which is a much better reaction than, oh man, it was only 10 minutes. I got ripped off. Or even worse, that reaction where we're like, oh my gosh, that was only 10 minutes. It seemed like an eternity.
Yes.
And you know, we've been in those haunts too, where you're like,
can't wait to get out. Just
please.
Like, oh.
Well, this was not like that at all.
Ready to pull out the cell phone and the light.
Yeah, that's right. Please
escort you out.
Kick me out. Yes. Where's the nearest exit? So
Yes.
no, that didn't happen
Not
this time.
one,
This was
though.
great. I was shocked that it was only 10 minutes long. It really seemed longer than that. So what we liked it from the very beginning, as soon as we walked into the line. And why was that? Because
the line, I mean, they actually had really good like atmosphere even in the line. Like when you're waiting to go in, they have a screen that has like an effect behind it, and then the whole waiting area was like all decorated and it had a theme, which was great. It was just, so even before you get into the haunt, it had the atmosphere set up already.
Yeah, and one of the things that I noticed about this haunt that's a thing for me that I actually kind of like is it was carpeted. And because it was carpeted, it deadens the sound, and to me that increases the atmosphere of a haunt. That's not to say that I expect haunts to be carpeted at all, but since this was in a mall, obviously the space they were in had carpeting in it, and for me it helps because it deadens the sound when you're going through, and it makes it seem a little more atmospheric.
Right.
And speaking of atmosphere, the set design this time around, this is where Insanity has really gotten better and better over the years.
Even the first time we went to Insanity in St. Charles, the atmosphere was good. The sets were good. It's just it just wasn't, like I said, it was kind of in the beginning stages. So, you know,
the acting was a little off. There were some areas where it was just a bunch of dark corridors with walls and things, but now there are more sets than walls. There are areas where it's just empty walls and stuff, but at least they're creative. Like there's a slatted area. This I liked. There are these slanted walls, and they're like slats, and they had strobe lights going on, so the walls looked crooked and you had to wind through them. There weren't any actors in there, but it was creepy. It looked like there could have been actors in there. So it set up sort of that, is somebody going to jump out at me type of thing. And there were several standouts. Laura got gotten a few times, which is always amusing to me.
Yes.
And it's also the mark of a good haunt, because we've been through a lot of haunts, so we kind of know, okay, if we're going to the church scene, let's say, okay, speaking of church scenes, right, there's a church scene in there. We know that some parishioner is going to be real, right? There are going to be some fake ones, and somebody's going to jump out. Well, tell them what happened to you in this one.
Yes, in this particular church scene, I could see it was a real person. I knew it. And I didn't know if some of the other ones were real or not, but I could see the actor sitting there. And even though I knew it was coming, she still got me. I mean, she jumped out and sort of moved, and I'm like, she got me anyway.
Yeah.
And because it was just creepy walking through the scene.
Yeah, and speaking of that scene, another thing that was really cool about it was as Laura mentioned, we saw the actor, okay, the actress. She
Actress,
was sitting in the pew, right? I saw her move, so I knew exactly where she was. But there were two figures standing by a coffin, behind this coffin. And the way they were positioned and the way they were lit, I wasn't sure if one of them was real or not.
Right, you didn't know.
And that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Because
Because
you don't know what's gonna
you just
happen.
don't know. And it turns out neither one of them was real, but if one of them was, and the person in the pew was real, that would have made it completely outstanding. I mean, as good as it was. Okay, but that would have been so cool to see.
Right, yes.
Right? And there were several other scenes. There was a scene where we walked through a kitchen. You often see scenes like this where it's a cannibal kitchen, and they can be 50-50, really. That really depends on the actors, because I can't tell you how many times, if I had $1 for the number of times that we walk into a scene like that and somebody says, "What's for dinner?" Or "You want to stay for dinner?" Or "fresh meat." Fresh meat is a phrase that we hear all the time, right? Well, this was different. This wasn't like that at all, actually. And there was a guy with a pig head, and he surprised us. He squealed. He opened up the curtain, and he squealed as he came through the curtain, and he got Laura. She was in front as the sacrifice, and he got her.
Yeah.
And it was good, though. And he just like kept making pig noises, and he was really, he was in the dining room area, which was pretty funny, actually. Usually the pig's on the table, but instead the pig here was the guy with the knife, which was pretty cool. I liked that scene. That was a good scene, an excellent scene. There was another really good scene in there with a library
Yes,
setting.
with all the books stacked up. It was really, I mean, the detail in that actual room. I mean, that was great.
Nicely done. And while
That's
we're looking at
very-
the detail, this guy comes out and says, "Get out of my library." And of course we apologize or something. He's like, "Don't talk in the library."
Yeah.
Which was funny, okay? And every time we laughed or something, he'd say, "What did I tell you? Don't talk in my library," which was funny. And as we're walking out, there's this woman, like, it was very interesting because she's hiding, this character, right? She's not doing anything. She's laying there. And all she did was like get up and look at us as we were walking out. Nice, no jump scare or anything. We saw her, we turned the corner, right? And we were like, "Oh, that's interesting." And here she comes out and she starts talking to us, or not talking to us, rather. Gets up and just looks at us and just a look. And it's that kind of thing, those touches that were really, really nice in Insanity, I have to say.
Yes.
Those were the things that I really enjoyed. And there was a guy with horns that got Laura, too.
Yes.
She got gotten like 3 times.
Yes.
In
Which
Insanity.
is good, because usually
Yeah.
I don't get gotten that often. So, yes.
Yeah, usually Laura puts her head in her coat, and she zips it up so she can't see.
No.
And then she just goes through, "Get me out of here, get me out of here." No. But this guy with the
Usually
horns.
I can tell if someone's going to jump out. I can kind of, but they got me a few times in here.
Well, this guy was funny because we walked through this living room area, which was very nicely detailed. Fireplace with a mantle and one of those moving digital pictures.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And this guy was hiding behind 2 plants, like two standing plants. And he's got horns on his head, and he comes out and he got Laura. All right. And then we come out of there and we're in like this kitchen set that we were talking about where the pig guy was. And there's this picture of the Joker. Is Heath Ledger as the Joker.
I was looking at
And-
it like, I said, Heath Ledger. I'm like, look at that, it's the Joker.
And all of a
then
sudden, it pulls down,
Yes, it pulls
and here's
down.
the guy with the horns. He's like, "Did I get you again?"
Yeah.
Because Laura said, "Oh, you got me the first time." It was funny.
Yeah, it was.
And I have to stress, it's that sense of humor that we really enjoy. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, Insanity this year, I would have to say best year yet.
Yes, definitely, I agree.
I'm also going to
Best year
throw in
yet.
there that it's $15. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely cheaper than many of the haunts out there, which is always nice to see. They do
Mm-hmm.
offer some discounts. They do have VIP, and I would suggest, judging by the crowd that was there, that if you don't get there when they open, you might want to use the VIP. It's $25 for the VIP. There was quite a line when we got there. We got there around
Yes.
7:30. They open at 7. It was only their second night open, and it was pretty darn busy.
Yes, it was.
So I would definitely recommend the VIP or go on an off night. And again, it's about 10 minutes long. Might be a little bit longer depending, but it's well worth it because, again, it doesn't seem like it's that short. It seems longer than that.
Yes,
And
it's great. It's very entertaining because it's got great sets. I thought the actors were great in there. It's just, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, you have to go into it with the right mindset, obviously. This haunt is not trying to be a major commercial haunt. That's not what it is. It's an old school haunt. That's what it's billed as. That's the way they're trying to come across as just these old school jump scares, just having a fun time when you go in the haunt. And you definitely did. I'm definitely going to give it 5 out of 5 this year for sure.
5 out of 5 for me too.
I hope that it keeps going on its
Yes.
vertical trajectory and keeps getting better and better. It's
Yes.
really well done.
Yes, it is. I agree.
Hey everybody, it's Brian and this is Laura.
Hi.
And we are the Horror Tours, and we're coming here to screw up the take. All right, one more time. Hey everybody, it's Brian, and this is Laura right here.
Hi.
We're the Horror Tours, and we just got done with a review. No, we didn't.
You just got done with a haunt.
That's right, we just got done with a haunt. We just got done with that take. Okay.
I need the thing. I gotta go get it. All right.
Hey everybody, this is Brian. And okay.